display.
With this rhymes, I make a joke, everybody laughs. I know I'm funny, but I'm not that funny.
Yeah, I just ran a checkup on myself. Some days I just have to check up on myself. I'm so icy, got that GG on my belt. Thank the Lord for my people and my health. Lost a lot, but I came out with no else. Thank the Lord for my people and my health. And I'm fine as hell from my head down to my nails. My man tripping cause I got another cell. He still buy me YSL. I could get it by myself. These I could get it by myself. I could get it by myself. These I could get it by myself. I'ma get it by myself, yeah.
Okay, Coach. Well, the road ends here. It has been a wild, often unpredictable 2019 season. And now it's time for the greatest spectacle in all of sports. Super Bowl 54 from Miami. You know, this town has played host to 10 Super Bowls in the past. And tonight, we write chapter number 11. And what a matchup we've got. Tonight, it's all on the line. We play for the Lombardi Trophy, as it'll be the AFC champion New York Jets taking on the NFC champions, the New Orleans Saints. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it has been a very long time coming, Charles, for these Jets, but they are back in the Super Bowl, their first appearance in the big game since that stunning Super Bowl III upset way back in January of '69.
Brandon, they'd lost 4 straight AFC championship games till their win a couple of weeks ago. And remember, prior to that, they'd lost 2 in a row. Mark Sanchez was a quarterback at that time. That was about a decade ago. They lost one of those to the Colts, one of those to the Steelers. But now here they are, back in the big game. And, of course, who are we going to think of?
Joe Namath.
White shoes. Joe Namath guaranteeing victory over the Colts in Super Bowl III. Gets it done. And the AFL-NFL game, never the same. Pretty soon we were in a merger with the AFC and the NFC.
Meanwhile, for the New Orleans Saints, look, everybody is well aware they've been snake-bitten the last 2 postseasons. First, it was the Minneapolis Miracle with Stephon Diggs, and then everybody remembers the no call last season. And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. Cameron Jordan. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him.
All right, partner, I'm going to be Captain Obvious right here. Not the start you're looking for offensively, right? Incomplete pass, followed by a sack.
And when he went down, it looked like that right ankle got turned, but thankfully he popped up okay, and they breathed a sigh of relief on that sideline. Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete. Good coverage that time by Patrick Robinson. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
A good return there, call it 13 yards. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50, 1st and 10. A good starting spot for the Saints as they come up 1st and 10, right at the 50-yard line. From the 50, it's Goff. Escaping the pressure right. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
First carry of the game for Christian McCaffrey. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
The Jets will bring in a nickel set here as they try to stop this 3rd down. Out of the gun, Goff. He's going to fire this thing deep right sideline. And unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive.
And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Big stop, G. Big stop. Let's go.
Working from the gun, Rodgers. Got his man, Robbie Anderson. And he is out of bounds right around the 34. Give him 12 yards there, and the Jets have a first.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Quan Alexander. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. He was looking for a Nunwa there.
But this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. From the shotgun to McCaffrey. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Boy, you go 3 and out on your first drive, and that's not the way you want to start this drive either. Doesn't seem like they're really into it just yet.
No, first 4 plays, you don't want to call it a disaster, but not looking very sharp. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And he'll get 3 down to the 34-yard line.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. A good gain there on 3rd and 8 of 7 yards, and now a decision here on 4th and 1. And this may be a big early turning point in this Super Bowl. They're going to go for it on 4th down here. And now before they run this play on 4th and 1, we're going to get a break and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. The kick by Lutz is good. And the Saints are going to take a 3-0 lead. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
So the loss of a yard, and now 2nd and 11 from the 24-yard line.
Check nickel, nickel, nickel.
From the gun, it's Rodgers. And he will find his man for the first time, Demaryius Thomas. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here.
Switch gears.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jadeveon Clowney with a big-time sack on 3rd down. It's a loss of 7. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Now, when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10.
Push him back. Push him back.
Now a 1st down throw. Gone. They'll run the screen with Carson. Boy, that is a 7-yard loss. 2nd down now. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on 1st down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it off, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open.
The Jets will bring in a nickel set as they try to stop this 3rd down.
Hey, you got 3.
Now gone. And he hits his tight end, Ebron. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
Another run, this time McCaffrey. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a 1st down.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. This is Carson. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. It'll be a Saints first down on a pickup of 13.
But they're getting ready to go to work now in prime real estate after that last run. Found his spot and picked up nice yardage, didn't he?
And now he's got him knocking on the door of the red zone. And they're going to go jet sweep here. This is Ross with it. And he's taken down after a gain of 3 as they move it from the 22 to the 19.
Even though positive yardage was gained on that play, I think the defense has to be happy. Obviously, they were prepared for some trick plays coming into the game, and they looked very aware that those could happen on any given down.
2 minutes even on the clock in the first half of Super Bowl 54. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando. The coach, he'll have stats and scores. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked.
Well, no takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
No, now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
On 3rd down, Carson. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff to start the second half, so this is a golden opportunity for them to go down there and put up a couple of 6s back-to-back. What a momentum swing that would be.
Yeah, you might be able to get a 2 for 1 without ever even giving up the football. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. To throw, it's Rodgers. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
This defense is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Rodgers to throw on 3rd and 1. Looking for Crowder, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Marshawn Lattimore, and he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line.
You're trailing, you're trying to get points late in half. I absolutely understand that. But remember, it's all about the ball. And without the ball, you can't get those points. They just turned it over.
Now you got to be careful because that deficit can get a little bigger on the other side with that good field position they just took over with. And he's got the hook up to Landry. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
24 is the mic. 24 is the mic. Let's make this.
Gone. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. Now it's Carson, and they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. Now Lutz for the field goal try. This is a 49-yard attempt, right hash. And this one is right down the middle. And that will make our score 9-0. Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that, and we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play, because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, you're only going to fool them for a second or so. And guess what? They're so deep, they're really not going to be out of position. Take the knee, get to the locker room.
He's going to air one out for Anderson. And this is taken in at the 5. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Robbie Anderson in the final seconds of the first half, as they are now on the board here in the first half. A little surprising they wouldn't go for 2, but this is up and good. And the lead is down to 2. Now after the touchdown, it's Lachlan Edwards to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. So we've reached halftime here in the 2020 Super Bowl, Super Bowl 54. As we go up to Orlando now and hand it over to Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. The never tedious halftime show behind us, and now it's back to football as we get going again in Super Bowl 54. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters, as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace, because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Goff. And that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Goff. And that will be incomplete. So it would appear they will not be able to add to their lead on this opening drive in the second half.
Yeah, if another touchdown was scored there, now we're talking about a 2-score game, and they're probably on their way of creating an excellent gap between them and their pursuers. But how about the defense there, able to step up and keep themselves in this one?
A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard.
Let's go. Underthrow, challenge. Front left challenge. Over.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Jets first down.
Well, that play looks familiar because we saw them working on it in practice this week. And for a lineman trying to block on this play, they love when they get the defense moving in one direction. And when they try and change directions, it's a lot easier to pick them up and ward them off.
Check to the right. 50. Hey, you block over here. Green again.
Rodgers now on first down. This one caught by Crowder. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch there.
And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
I have to think a major focus at a halftime means had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secure before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
That one goes for 16 yards. It sets them up first and goal.
First down and goal to go.
Blue 58. Check 53. Mike. Hey, watch the screen. Watch the screen. Inside. Screen. Green again.
On first and goal, Drake. And he'll get about 4 there as he takes it from the 10 down to the 6. So that run gets him about halfway home.
Yeah, it's now second and goal. The end zone beckons. It looms. They can do whatever they want. Full playbook. Run it again, or they can go play action and try and put it in that way.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on second and goal. Now they'll throw with Rodgers. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Boy, you will not see a quarterback of his caliber miss on one like that very often. I mean, there it is, wide open, got the shot, and he misfires.
We talk about, boy, he'll want that one back all the time. He definitely wants that one back. Now a run. This is below Powell. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
That run didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's counting on the big guys up front to escort him in, and they couldn't create any kind of space for him, could they?
Yeah, didn't get the push they needed. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that that happens, because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
Following the field goal on is Locke Edwards to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep.
The Saints will go first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Going back to Lander. This time he's got him complete. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. That'll go as a loss of 5. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
180.
A shotgun snap for gone. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Brian Poole. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line.
This interception will go on the record of the quarterback, but as a receiver, you've got to understand where you are in the field. Middle portion, you know it's going to come in hot. Square your body to the quarterback and be ready to make the catch.
So after the INT, it's Rodgers. Open man is Robbie Anderson. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. Give him 12 yards there, and the Jets have a first. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. To throw is Rodgers. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
Incomplete. It leads to 2nd and 10.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Now Rodgers going to throw again. And he's got a man, Demaryius Thomas. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And this is going to be another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Saints 6.
Team. And the Jets, 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 16-yard line.
Rodgers now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. So the solid run on 1st, and I would imagine no real hurry to run that 2nd down play.
No, it's all on your quarterback now. He's going to keep an eye on the play clock and bleed things down, and he's not going to let the ball be snapped until it's inside 3 seconds left on the play clock. Unless, of course, you're playing a video game, you're trying to run it up on your friend.
Nice touch. Cold-blooded, too. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
But that's all about doing the dirty work right there defensively. 2nd and short yardage, that's all about plugging those gaps, not giving a running back a crease to run through, and has a nice job to hold him just a couple and force a 3rd down.
On 3rd and short, Drake. And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. Give him a gain of 4, able to convert, and that sets up 1st and goal now.
1st down. 1st and goal at the 4-yard line.
So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. Now Drake. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run and the pass. But in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right, it might go to them in this game.
I like that, MVU. Well done.
They'll try and pound it into Drake. And he is in. Touchdown, New York. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Jets will extend their lead. Solid job up front. Really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
That was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. Now after the touchdown, it's Lachlan Edwards to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25.
The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 26.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
From the 44, Goff. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. In the pocket, chucked it away, flag comes down.
So you got to move a little bit, right? Know where you are on the field, have some awareness. Tackle to tackle. You got to get outside of that tackle box in order to get that done.
So now it's 3rd and long, because remember, they also lose a down on the grounding call. From the gun, here's Goff. Going deep here for Landry. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And he'll be upended after a gain of 5, up to the 25-yard line. The tackle there by John Johnson. You know, I was going to ask you if maybe they should surprise and pass the ball, but where they're at on the field, I think keep it on the ground, right?
I like where you're going with this one, because field position is going to determine these play calls. And backed up where they are, I don't even think about putting the ball in the air. I tell my running backs, grasp the football, and I tell my offensive line, don't allow any leaks so they get hit immediately when we hand it off.
He's crashing. He's checking crash.
The clock showing 2 minutes even in what's been a memorable Super Bowl 54. So it's Jets football as we get you reset here. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Right back to Drake. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Give them 12 yards there, and the Jets have a 1st.
And while we're seeing more and more of these plays come from the college game into the NFL, and that one, it was run with great success, how about the evolution of the offensive linemen? We're seeing less and less big guys who can't move, and more guys who are a lot more mobile and can get out in front of that type of a play.
The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts, as they'll get it with just a shade under a minute to go in the game. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. They stay on the ground with Drake. And he's going to take this across the 50 and into Saints territory. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2. As the clock will stop with 55 seconds remaining in the football game.
Go! Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out.
On 3rd down, Drake. And boy, he is very close to a 1st down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. Now the Saints will use their 3rd and final timeout, as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in the 4th. Here's Lachlan Edwards now, as he's on to punt for New York. And it's a fake here on 4th and inches. And the gamble pays pays off. They get the first. The result there is the offense is going to come back on the field. A first down as they get 12 on the fake punt. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. Time for this one final knee to put a bow on this title bout. That is likely the final play of this game, and no better feeling, I would imagine, than taking a knee to wrap up the Super Bowl.
Culminates everything. The championship is theirs. And just think, the last play they had in practice before this game began was doing this, practicing taking a knee and winning a Super Bowl.
And they get to do just that. And the New York Jets have won the Super Bowl. And the Lombardi Trophy will be in the Big Apple. And their remarkable season ends in the most remarkable of ways.
I'ma tell you I'm a misconceiver, I'm a believer.